I Have a Dream, America's Most Powerful Speech. Animation by African Vulture. Music by David Fesliyan. Some speeches fade with time, but a few live on forever, shaping the hearts and minds of generations. Among them, Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream stands as America's most powerful speech, a beacon of help and call for justice. Every year, on the third Monday of January, we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a day that is dedicated to honor one of the most influential leaders in American history. But what made his dream so unforgettable, and why does his speech continue to inspire change more than half a century later? In this documentary, we'll explore the profound meaning behind I Have a Dream, the context in which it was delivered, and how it forever changed the course of history. To truly understand the significance of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, we must first look at the historical context in which it was delivered. In the early 1960s, racial segregation and discrimination were still entrenched in American society. African Americans faced unequal treatment in schools, workplaces and public spaces, and voting rights were denied to many. Amid this backdrop, Dr. King delivered his iconic speech at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, one of the largest civil rights gatherings in U.S. history. It was here, before an audience of over 250,000 people, that King painted a vision of a future free from oppression. Did Martin Luther King Jr. have a dream? Not really. Dr. King's dream wasn't literally a dream he had while sleeping with his eyes closed. Instead, it was a metamorphical vision for America to become a better place. A country where freedom, equality, and justice could truly exist for all people. His dream was inspired by the struggles he witnessed and his faith in humanity's ability to change. King's dream was rooted in hope and possibility. It gave people a reason to believe that a different future was achievable, no matter how distant it seemed. So why is King's speech called, I Have a Dream? Well, there are three reasons why it is called that. First off, the phrase, I have a dream, is symbolic. Secondly, it captures the essence of King's vision, a longing for justice, equality and harmony. Thirdly and lastly, by using the term, dream, King emphasized the idea of possibility, turning his hopes into a rallying cry for change. The dream wasn't just Martin Luther King Jr.'s, it represented the shared hopes of millions of Americans fighting for a better world. In his speech, Martin Luther King Jr. said, 100 years later, 4 times. When King repeatedly said 100 years later 4 times, he was referring to the Emancipation Proclamation signed by President Abraham Lincoln in 1863. A century had passed, but African Americans were still facing injustice and inequality. By repeating this phrase, King highlighted the ongoing struggle and called attention to the urgency of addressing these unfulfilled promises. The repetition served as a stark reminder that the fight for freedom was far from over, even after 100 years. Also, in his speech, he repeatedly said, I have a dream, 8 times. The phrase, I have a dream, was repeated to emphasize King's vision and inspire hope. Each time he said it, he added another layer to his dream, painting a vivid picture of a future free from racial injustice and filled with unity and equality. The repetition wasn't just a rhetorical device, it was a call to action, encouraging his audience to join him in turning his vision into reality. One of the most significant outcomes of King's speech was the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This landmark legislation outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex or national origin. It ended segregation in public places and banned employment discrimination, bringing America closer to realizing King's dream of equality. In 1965, the Voting Rights Act was signed into law, protecting African Americans' rights to vote and dismantling barriers like literacy tests and poll taxes. These legislative victories were direct results of the civil rights movement's relentless efforts and the momentum King's words helped create. While progress has been made, King's dream wasn't just about the legislation, it was about transforming hearts and minds, paving the way for more inclusive and equitable society. The legacy of King's speech moves on, reminding us that the fight for justice and equality is ongoing. His words continue to inspire movements around the world, proving that one dream can spark a revolution. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech is more than just a moment in history. It's a timeless call for justice, equality and unity. But what would the world be like without it? Without King's speech, the momentum of the civil rights movement might not have reached the same heights. His words gave help to millions, united people of all backgrounds under a shared vision for change. The speech helped to shape the narrative of the movement, giving it clarity and focus. King's dream inspired generations to stand up against injustice and work toward building a better, more inclusive society. It reminds us that every voice matters in the fight for equality. Turning King's dream into reality required courage, resilience and sacrifice. It took the collective efforts of countless individuals, marching, organizing and advocating for change. From Civil Rights Act of 1964 to ongoing efforts for social justice, King's vision continues to inspire action. Dr. King's dream wasn't just about a moment in time, it's a vision for the future. And while much progress has been made, the dream is not fully realized. It's up to each of us to continue the work he began. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. showed us the power of words, the strength of dreams, and the importance of action. His legacy reminds us that even the smallest steps can help bring us closer to justice, equality and freedom for all. This is the wrap for this video. Thank you for watching and understanding. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.